Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the IceHQ Ice Rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia on Wurundjeri, and where we're on traditional land for the IceHQ Pro League Grand Final Series, Game 1 between the Reservoir Dogs and the Snipers. I'm Carl Brewer, and joining me tonight is Anton Goss and Figures. It's great to have you gentlemen here with me again tonight to bring this final series to you. It's come to this now. As the boys, it showcased the depth of talent in women's hockey here in Melbourne. We've seen some really good tight games and some very pleasing improvements in the team play of all the teams through the 9 rounds of the series. Gossy, Figures, what do you reckon?
Look, it's 1v2, big game. The Snipers, before the Dogs lost the Inferno last week, the Snipers were the ones that took it closest. If you go back to that, I think it was the second game of the season, they went to a shootout. And I think that was the best of the best when we saw those two teams play. Very hard-fought game. It was end-to-end. Snipers ended up coming back. That started their kind of run as the belief of this comeback queen type squad. But I think, tonight's going to be very exciting because you got this juggernaut of a team on the stat sheet when you look at the Dogs in the black like all the Disney movies. But you got this team in blue that have controlled play for most of the games that they've played. They just haven't been able to build the leads that they normally can.
What they've been missing out on, Gossy, I think, is scorers. And one of the interesting statistics there from the Snipers is, and we've seen her, she was the steal of the draw, and that was B4. I think she was chosen at 8 or 9 or something crazy like that. I would have been picking her first. But anyway, she's actually scored 4 goals as a D and no assists, which is quite an unusual thing for a defensive player, especially on a series of this length where things would tend to even out a little bit. So I think she's got a bit of a tendency to try and do things a little bit too much on her own at times, because the Snipers have been a little bit lacking in that in the ability to score. They do have Nella Brenning, and she scored 4 as well, and she's a potent scoring machine, but they are without Emily Davis-Tope tonight, who is in Canada, and she has been a mayhem manufacturer in the through the neutral zone for the Snipers and created a lot of opportunities and broke up their defense.
Yeah, she's going to be a huge out for the Snipers. But those 3 players, the top 3 goal scorers that you mentioned for the Snipers, Nella Brenning, B4, Emily Davis-Tope, they combine together for 11 goals. And Figures, I want you to talk to me about one player on the Dogs, because I think there's one player on the Dogs that has just as many goals on that team. And who's that?
Danielle Butler. I mean, she's been the unstoppable force of the whole season. The key to this game is going to be the Snipers shutting her down, because she just gets too many opportunities. Well, she makes too many opportunities. She's a phenomenal player, can weave in and out of the defenders like there's no tomorrow. And, I mean, if I was the Snipers, I'd probably be going for a 2-on-1 pincer move as much as possible, because
if you do that, what do you do though?
Well, you open up the other attackers.
And she can pass too. She's not a one-dimensional player.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players who will carry the puck, and if they get corralled off into the corner, it's all over. But Butler passes too. She's got a lot of assists. So
she's second in the league for assists.
But what I'd say is, I mean, we know she's on the ice a lot. She used her speed. But last time these two teams played, I think the Snipers figured out how to shut her down. They kept her to 1 goal, and it was a quick goal to end the period. I think it was a power play goal, if I'm not mistaken. But they really honed in on her and tried to keep her out wide and didn't allow her that space, because what she does is she moves those legs so quickly. She's able to skate, create that little bit of a gap as she comes down the wing and cut into the middle, and then the goalie's just let out to dry.
Yeah.
So they did a really good job pushing her out into the corners and then playing that box in front. So I think, Coach Drew Coffrey over here and with Ash and Danny on the bench, they're really going to know that. They're going to be talking to those girls, and I think they have the recipe to lock down Danny Butler.
They might be able to get Butler, but then there's, and I really feel funny about saying this, but the Dogs have Shana Godfrey on what you call a second line.
Yeah.
Now, that second line's not a second line. That second line is the equal of any line in this competition by far and away. And Shana is such an incredible playmaker. She's got so many assists as well, just from passing the puck and moving it. And we all know, and it's an easy thing to say, that the puck moves faster than the players. And that's Shana's absolute masterpiece, is through the neutral zone and just creating opportunities. So they might be able to shut down Butler, but then you've got Shana's line, which is going to come through as well. So it's that sustained pressure.
And that's exactly it. And she's joined by her long-term teammate and good friend, Steph Cochran. And she's actually my player to watch tonight for the Dogs. I got a first front row view on Monday night playing beer league against her. She got a hat trick against our team. Super quick down. We had nothing to match her. I think today she's going to break out. She's been all over. She got her first goal last game on a great passing play between Godfrey and Cochran. I'm calling her out to get a goal tonight.
Yep. So the other thing we're going to talk about very, very briefly just before the puck drop is penalties. Neither of these teams have had a particularly good penalty kill. They've both got a penalty kill of about 70%, which is below what you would expect at this level. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can sort that out. Obviously, the key to that is to stay out of the box. Both teams have got on top of some early discipline issues they had in the first couple of rounds, and they've certainly reduced the amount of time they've been spending in the penalty box. They're getting used to the refereeing, which makes a difference as well. But they're going to want to stay out of the box to minimise those opportunities. Especially, I think the snipers need to make sure that they don't let don't let the Dogs get that opportunity on the power play because they're particularly effective at it. But likely, the other thing is, of course, the snipers have Nella Brenning. She's going to be a pretty effective scorer. The Dogs have got... oh, golly, sorry.
Cochran, Butler,
Cochran,
you name
Butler,
it. But I think a big game is going to be needed by Steph Conlon. She's played well. They're going to need people to step up with the absence of some of their players. But the big one for the Snipers today is their goaltender, Kayla Pierce, going up against Kayla Best. And we are underway here in the grand final series. Face-off won by the Dogs. And it's Danny Butler with the puck here, across in front and misses Baker that was going through the middle there. Puck's now out. It is with the Snipers. It's Conlon, aforementioned. Big play here, dropping it there for B. DeFore. Wide open in front there was Pickering, but DeFore decided to take the shot. Ryland just chips that over into the corner. It's going to be picked up by Mayer, but stolen there by Butler, who just gets it up there for Simone Leach.
A good save there by Kayla Best under pressure. A good shot from DeFore, but Best was up to the task.
Baker just tied up there on the half wall. In comes Conlon, but her stick was lifted there by Butler. Mayer now gets it up to Conlon, who gets tripped up, but no penalty on the play. It's going to come to Butler now. He'll chip it away past Mayer, and she'll come in on Brenning. Nice move to evade Brenning. Through to the slot area and over to Godfrey. Godfrey with a nice drop back to Butler, but a great block there by Brenning. Conlon chips that out, but it's kept in there by Cochran, only momentarily though. And the puck's now back out to Cameron. So here we go, a frenetic pace to start the game. It's Godfrey just sending it back there for Briar Johnson. She'll chip that up to the veteran there. Godfrey trying to just chip around there of the defenseman. And Julia Tran wins out Godfrey, chips it around looking for Cochran. Cochran in front for Godfrey, and the puck's loose out in the slot area and collected here by Hope Newman.
Snipers at the moment with most of the momentum for these first couple of minutes of the game. They've had scoring opportunities.
So Briar Johnson now just chips it up on the wall. It's stopped there by Ramundo. Brenning now has it, being watched there by Godfrey, but gets it out of the zone. Briar Johnson collects, just evades a little check there of Zil Quezada, and the puck now is shot down deep into the sniper zone. Behind the net now is Georgia Moore, chipping it up there for Newman, looking for that one-touch pass, but stolen there by Cochran with nice stick handling, but couldn't get past DeFore, who now activates into the offensive zone, but just had to hold up there to stay onside. Quezada now behind the net, winding. She's got no one out in the slot area, and that was a great stop there by Pullen. She'll collect it out of the corner now, looking for that stretch pass over to find Grigalunas. She's one-on-one on Georgia Moore. Grigalunas threw the stick, but couldn't collect the puck as that goes out into the corner.
Good play there by Georgia, just owning that space and forcing the attacking player to come to her. Georgia showing all of her experience.
Back to Yates now, blocked. A little poke there by Newman. Gets that puck out into the neutral zone, and here come the Snipers through Ava Pickering. She takes a shot, and that's blocked there by Pullen. Puck's loose there, and it was B. DeFore punching up there, looking for an area there in front, and she now wins that battle in the corner. Out in front there, oh, and they nearly score, but it's Marnie Pullen who lifted the stick there last minute to save a sure goal. Puck now with Yates behind the net. She rims that off the wall. That's going to be kept in by Julia Tran. She'll just send that back deep, but no one there but Marnie Pullen for the Dogs.
What we're seeing a lot at the moment from the Snipers is a lot of rotating attack. They're integrating DeFore very early on in the attacking plays and creating a little bit of confusion in the Dogs' defense.
So a little tie up here on the far half wall. It's going to come out here, and it's going to be Brenning up against Butler. Brenning wins that out. Nice move trying to get around Nelson, but Nelson won that out, and she makes a nice move and takes some space. She'll whip that over there for Simone Leach, but that'll go all the way down into the sniper zone. An easy pickup here for Tran. She's watched by Butler, though, who takes a tumble. That's going to allow Tran to collect it and just chip that off the wall, but kept in nicely by Niamh Gallagher. It's now Simone Leach on the near half wall. She'll wind, take a speculative shot in on Piers, save, and right rebound collected there by Tran. Now Mayer will battle up there with Nelson. Mayer, it's in her legs, chips that out of the zone, but Danny Butler back checking is now going to collect that and come in with speed. Conlon matched her up at the blue line, and that will be a penalty for interference, I will imagine there, or body contact. And that's going to go against Steph Conlon, the leading penalty minutes on the Snipers there.
Well, now she's brought it up in line with Paige Cameron. They're tied for penalty minutes. This is not something that the Snipers wanted early on. They've shown really great guts coming out of the gate early, but pressure on now.
Let's not forget that the short-handed goal is not an unheard of thing.
That's for sure. But here we got a little bit of time and space for Cochran and Godfrey as they're joined by Briar Johnson on this Dogs power play. Best comes out to play the puck, and she'll just chip that up to Marnie Pullen. Takes it behind her own net. She's being watched there by Quezada. Puts on the Jets, as she often does, and takes the space. Sends that over to Godfrey on her off wing. Nice move. Cuts out in front. Takes a shot, but a great kick save there by Pierce. Pullen gets it in front. It bounces. Pierce is down and got the puck under a glove, and she covers that up. And Sharna Godfrey there, if you look on the CCM all-out replay, dumped the Sniper defender there after the whistle, and that's going to end the power play for the Dogs.
It's going to go 4-on-4, and Godfrey looking a little bit confused by that one, and I've got to confess, I'm a little bit confused by it myself.
You can see it here on the replay as she comes in. Just a little extra push.
It's in the goal mouth, you're allowed to own that space.
Well, she's fired up here in the box, and it's 4-on-4 hockey now. Plenty of space, and first to it is going to be Schreier. We'll just chip that back, but Niamh Gallagher's going to collect that behind her own net. She's got Baker looking for it, who just chips it forward. We're just going to wave off the icing. It's going to come in on Pierce. We'll just chip that over into the corner. Beware of Danny Butler on this type of play, hey, boys? You know, with the extra space, she's going to be looking to get the Jets going. Little regroup play here. It's Gallagher now, just chips it up on the wall. That's going to go down the length of the ice, but no icing, or icing is called there.
I've got to tell you, Gossie, Pickering for the Snipers is having a very effective game so far. She's got a very aggressive forecheck, putting a lot of pressure on that Dogs D, and forcing them just to make a couple of questionable passes across the ice. I think Pickering's having a superb game so far. She's a real discovery in this round.
Interesting play, boys. We got B4 playing up forward here, 4-on-4, and I imagine that's a play by the coach as we're about to go on to a power play. So the Snipers now 5-on-4. With the puck here, winding up, taking a shot on right into the glove of Best, as they'll have about 50 seconds to play with here on the player advantage.
Best very wisely, being fairly slow to hand that puck over. It just runs that clock down. It's a little bit of professional, I wouldn't call it time wasting, but just delaying the game a little bit to help run that clock down. We're not running stop time, so she pulls 15-20 seconds out of the power play.
So face-off one, Moore. That was Dufour that just missed that and was trying to get it back there for Tran, but it gets sent down the length of the ice, and out is Piers just to leave that for Bella Raimondo.
20 seconds to go on the power play.
Puck rims up. It's going to get out here to B. Dufour. She's got two with her. Sends it over to Neela Brenning, but the nice legs there of Marnie Pullen able to beat out the long reach there of Brenning, and that's going to be sent down the length of the ice by Yates.
That's going to do it for the penalty kill. You can tell that the referees early on, they were trying to send a signal. They're not going to have any shoving after the whistles. Even in a final, you don't want to let things get out of hand.
No nonsense hockey, and here comes Mayer. Nice little move, but couldn't get it past Yates there. She gets it up there for Godfrey, fresh out of the box. She was fired up in that penalty box. You know, she has something to prove. I expect her first shift out to have a little fire in her.
You know, she was quite adamant during the week leading up to the game that the Dogs were going to win this one, but they needed to play a good, simple game of hockey. They got a bit overly complicated last time they played, and she reckons they're going to fix that and be much more solid this week.
So here's B4 just missing that one, and that's going to allow Yates to chip that forward, but a nice little pinch by Conlon, and she chips it up to Mayer. Not able to get in, though. It was a great back check there by Baker. Stopped that Sniper offensive opportunity right in its tracks. But Brenning blocked that one. She's going to walk out in front, take the shot. Save by Best. Point blank on the great Sniper goal scorer, Neela Brenning. Now here comes Butler. It's a 2-on-1. One defender back. It's the captain, Georgia Moore. Butler shot. Save Pierce. Rebounds there, but collected nicely there by Ryland to stop another great opportunity. So back and forth hockey. Here comes Brenning. Nice poke check there by Cameron, but a shot sent on and a rebound nearly collected there by Mayer. Puck shot out, but first back to it is Schreier as Danny Butler was looking to pounce. Brenning looking to just evade that from Danny Butler, but she gets that on her stick, and she'll start with a couple crossovers and get some speed, and she'll take that straight into the offensive zone. Here she comes, off wing, into the slot area, winding shot, but a save by Piers.
I think that shot might have just been picked up there by one of the Snipers defenders. I didn't pick who it was, but it ended up with not that much on it. But a good move up through the ice for Butler. She created a lot of space.
Ryland's just going to reverse this now, and it's going to come over to Zoe Quezada here on the far side, half wall, skating it out. Watched by Grigalunas, and it's stopped up, but finally gets shot down the ice, but not all the way as Paige Cameron picks that one up. She's being watched nicely there by Newman, and we'll rip that up on the half wall over to Fitzpatrick. Now Grigalunas, poke check there by B4, and this is going to spring Schreier. Schreier's 1-on-3 and does the smart thing and sends that deep as she peels off for a change. B4 first to it though, sends a speculative pass into the high slot, kept up momentarily by Steele, but now picked up by Grigalunas to come the other way. 3-on-3. She's got Fitzpatrick going to the net. Grigalunas on the rebound, chips it through, looking for Fitzpatrick, but a hell of a defensive play there by Bella Raimondo. B4 there, stopped up by Marnie Pullen, and there's a little back and forth hockey here in the neutral zone.
And Pullen electing to go right up high for that high challenge, but she did have Dogs wingers coming back to cover her, so that was a safe thing for her to do.
So a pass cross ice there by Pullen. Nelson here will pick it up here for the Dogs. She'll rip that up looking for Godfrey, or Fitzpatrick, who is sitting there on the point. Puck squirts back into the neutral zone. It was tried to be pitched forward there by Pickering, but sent deep now into the sniper zone.
Pickering again, just providing a real thorn in the side of the Dogs at the moment. She's very active, good aggressive forecheck, and she's doing a great job of making space.
What a play there by Briar Johnson on the veteran Georgia Moore there as she tried to pin the defenseman, and it turns out she was maybe a little overzealous as she is now going to sit for 2 or less as the Snipers are going to go back to the power play.
I've been really impressed with the Snipers' defense so far. There's been, you've got Danielle Butler driving into the offensive zone. Shana Godfrey putting on some real hardcore forechecking there, but they've come up strong and they've come out with a penalty.
And Piers is doing a fantastic job in the net, just tidying up. There has been a couple of pretty good shots on the net, but Piers has been there and taken care of it. But so too at the other end.
And here it is, a shorthanded chance. The two buds, Godfrey and Cochran, but a great play by the captain, Moore, there to stop that short-handed opportunity. And now we go the other way. It's DeFore with a shot. It's a floater and a blocker save there by Best. Brenning now has it. She'll walk into the slot area, being held up, takes the shot, it's loose, and a great poke check there by Best will send that down the length of the ice.
Dogs wisely clearing the puck out, relieving the pressure, giving themselves a chance to just get a bit of composure. It's a little bit messy there for a few seconds, but that happens in penalties.
Stolen here by Godfrey as she looked to center it. It stopped there. Greg Lewis tipped in front on Piers, and boy, oh boy, what a save there on Steph Cochran, sitting there right in the slot looking to pounce. This is all done by that forecheck of Godfrey. Sent it back. Great shot there by Pullen. And Cochran was Johnny on the spot looking to pounce. But great job there by Pierce.
So this is a dangerous situation for the Dogs. They've got that attacking zone face-off. But if the Snipers get clean possession from the face-off, it can end very badly for them.
Instead, it was a center win there by Butler who got a shot on. And she collects it and walks into that slot area. Just being pushed out to the side, but still has possession of the puck. Takes it behind the net. She's looking for a pass, but instead allowed to be walked right out in front. And a save by Piers again. The Snipers have to watch that. Look at this on the CCM all-out replay. They allowed Butler to go all the way around. And watch this. Right when she got behind the net, no one. Straight one-on-one on the goaltender. Shouldn't happen here on a shorthanded opportunity for the Dogs.
Messy face-off, but Butler gets
another one to Butler with a shot and another save by Piers. That's her 4th save on Danny Butler this period already.
And that's shorthanded. Two of those have been shorthanded.
So here we go. It's pinned up here on the half wall. Butler has it. Being watched there by Brenning, and another poke check there by Newman allows it out. So that'll end the power play. It was more of a power kill for the Dogs as Danny Butler had 2 of the best scoring opportunities on that penalty advantage. Puck's now down deep in the sniper zone. It'll be collected by the Snipers and sent across, but Sharna Godfrey off the bench nearly pounced on that one. B4, who's having a run up forward now, is coming through one-on-one. Nice move, B4, but a great trailing leg by Kayla Best stopped that opportunity, and we're starting to see a goaltending duel. Godfrey down the other way. Great poke check there by Raimondo as the snipers are starting to maybe learn that patented move by Sharna Godfrey.
Well, Godfrey was isolated there. She was on her own as the dogs were making a change. So all she really had there was the opportunity to either deke or dump. And it wasn't a bad choice.
Puck's just going to be kept in here by Cameron, who's going to take a speculative shot, but that's going to deflect into the corner by by Bella Raimondo. Puck's still in. It's going to chip out in front. It's loose. What a save! Michaela Pierce on the rebound, blocking yet another glorious scoring opportunity for the Dogs. And that gets shot all the way down on Best. And she's forced to cover up as that was a great save, a great forecheck there by Pickering. I really hope we get to see this on the CCM All-Out replay. What a save by Michaela Pierce. The puck went out into the corner. And you see as it comes out in front, right there, Sharna Godfrey gets one, but two opportunities, and that right pad of Michaela Pierce pushed its way out like Inspector Gadget and stole that there from Sharna Godfrey.
I think one of the things we're seeing from the Snipers is very heavy integration of B2-4 in their attack, which we haven't seen so much of previously, combined with Pickering's super aggressive forecheck. And it's a different Snipers to what we've seen so far through this competition.
So here's Mayer and Conlon in the corner looking to center it there for Brenning, but it just gets lost in the skates, and who else to come out with it but Danny Butler. She was looking to get that across to Baker, but just missed her, which is going to allow Moore to get that out of the zone. Butler forced to wait up while Simone Leach tags up and just chips it back there as the Dogs decide to regroup. Puck up here to Simone Leach. She'll look to get it deep, but can't get it past Conlon. And the Snipers now look to go down the other way, and it's Brenning chipping it forward into the Dog zone, but it does come back out here as there's a little bit of pitch and catch playing, but Danny Butler's got it on her stick now. Her off wing looks to get around Tran. Tran does a great job to keep her to the outside. Puck's loose in front. Simone Leach is looking for it, but it's come to Danny Butler. Butler knocked down there in front on her legs. Gets it back to Nelson. Nelson with a shot off the skate there of Leach, but a hell of a save there by Pierce. Pullen keeps it in, though. She'll chip that off the wall, looking for Butler, but Brenning will collect it. Watch closely back there for Nelson, but off the body there of Moore, and she's going to come down the other way. Captain Georgia Moore on her offside, looking to center it, but no one crashing the net. And that'll just force a one-on-one battle there in the corner as Newman wins that one out. Conlon knocks down Briar Johnson. No call there, though, as Simone Leach now has the puck.
Just under 2 minutes now to play. The score's still 0-all.
Oh, and a play there. Just missing it is Schreier. It's come to Johnson, but she fans on that one as a stick probably got on there by Schreier.
Schreier made up for her mistake there. Really, really well done. Great block shot there.
That's Conlon looking to chip it up, but can't get it out. A great pinch by the Dogs. Some sustained pressure here late in the first period in a 0-all game, highlighted by some great goaltending either side. Briar Johnson's going to walk out of that corner, chip it there, but a great stick. Gets back to Cochran. I think that took a deflection, but couldn't get past the great wall of Pierce. Puck's come back now to Nelson. She'll chip that in, and that's going to put 1 more minute left here in the first period, deep in the Sniper zone. Snipers have been playing quite well, but they've been hemmed in here for about 2.5 now. They'll get it out, and who else? Zoe Quezada over the blue line. It's 2-on-4 as her teammates all peel off for a change. Behind the net, she takes it. That's puck stolen now by Godfrey. Maybe one last opportunity. And here comes Godfrey and Cochran. Cochran with the puck. Takes it wide, drops it for Godfrey. Back to Cochran. These two playing like they played all their lives. Tic-tac-toe, but couldn't get a puck on net. Brenning chipping it across to Newman. There's 23 seconds remaining in the game. Shot on, or in the period, sorry. Shot goes down into the corner. It's Grigalunas now here behind the net, and with 13 seconds left, you'll see she'll just look to kill some time, and that should be it unless the Snipers pounce here late.
Just the 3 seconds to go.
What a frenetic first period. Chances end to end. Power plays, penalty kills. But the points to the game so far have to go to the great saves here by Michaela Pierce and Kayla Best, who are perfect on the score sheet so far.
I think Pierce has been outstanding so far. The shots on the net, to bring you up to speed on that, Dogs have had 14 shots and the Snipers 5. So Best has been worked pretty hard. The shots that were on her were pretty good quality. But Michaela Pierce has been absolutely peppered with shot, and nothing's got through her yet. So she's doing a superb job. The Dogs with most of the run through the second half of that period. It's going to be interesting to see if the Snipers can get a bit more attacking momentum. They've defended well, they've been pretty solid, and that integration of B4 up into that attack early has been very effective for them. And certainly they've had enough defence back to mostly get it all covered up when the puck has got past. We haven't yet seen Godfrey really be able to get enough passes through to create A-grade scoring opportunities on as many occasions as she'd like. But she certainly has created a lot of those plays and a lot of opportunities. And it's got a little bit of a feeling at the moment of almost inevitability. It felt a few times through that period that it was going to go to the Dogs and a couple of goals were going to be scored. But tell you what, Piers, she's seen the puck.
Oh. That play on Godfrey where she made the first one and you
That was
saw
superb.
a gaping hole net and that leg out of nowhere. Hell of a save by Michaela Piers. But interesting thing, if you guys look over onto the Dogs bench, is Sharna Godfrey's just changed her skates.
Oh.
So I don't know what was going on in that first period, but she tossed over the old skates, got handed another pair. So
she must have burned through the first pair.
Must have burnt through the first pair, yeah. Must not be feeling perfect out there. So
She does manage the CCM Pro Shop here at IceHQ, so she gets, I'm not going to say priority treatment, but if there's anything in the shop she wants, I think she can get it, and pretty quickly. Speaking of things you can get in the shop, you can get cards for the teams now. All three of these Pro League teams have little collector's cards, and you can order them online and get a set of the cards if you want, which would be a pretty nice souvenir of this season, and certainly a great tribute to the women playing in this competition. It's great for them to have that recognition as well. We're about to get underway with the second. Shots on the net, 14-5 in favour of the Dogs. And Gossie's having a lot of fun making this call, aren't you, Gossie? She's a ripper.
Yeah, it's a ripper, man. And I know I've got my hand down for a whole set. I think it's $15 per team set, or $35 for the whole league.
Whole thing, yeah.
I mean, this is momentous opportunity in women's ice hockey here in Australia. I know I'm getting the set, and hopefully some of these girls will sign a few cards for me. You know, maybe if I'm nice. You know,
I'm not sure what the right on it for you, but shut up, Gossie.
But no, absolutely great game so far, guys. It's 0-0. Just the battle we want out of the grand final. Just a reminder, it is a 3-game series. So some of this physicality we're starting to see between the two teams, it'll be interesting to see how that boils over 3 games.
I want 3 games. I want 3 games. If this is going to be the quality of hockey we're seeing, I want 3.
So we're underway, and just the way the first started, it's a face-off win by the Dogs, and Danny Butler's going to take that through. Blocked there well by Heather Ryland, as if you notice the Snipers really using their sticks well on the stick checks. It's Brenning now who's just going to chip that forward, but the smooth skating of Marnie Pullen is going to be able to get there first.
Well, the other thing the Snipers are doing particularly well is they're waiting in position. They're not trying to take the Dogs on up high and get beaten. They're waiting for them to come to them.
Ryland's in front there. It's going to come back to Newman. Shot. Oh, my. That deflected just wide, as that was a great pass there by Brenning to find Ryland on the back door. Or Pickering, sorry.
And that was the thing with the Snipers on that opportunity. There were actually two opportunities on the one shot. So if they can keep doing that, putting the pressure on, there's going to be some opportunities for them this period.
Where that gets deceptive is that number doesn't show up because none of them actually ended up being shots on the net.
Here's
the goalie
Butler.
didn't have to do anything, so it doesn't count as a stat.
Butler walks through, comes back to Simone Leach. What a defensive play there by Heather Ryland. Another play that doesn't show up on the score sheet, but a great defensive play to stop Simone Leach, who had plenty of net she was looking at to score on that back door.
Normally you'd back Simone to score from that time, score from there 8 times out of 10. She's got a superb shot on her when she's unmarked in the slot.
So it's down the other way now. It's Marnie Pullen who has the puck here for the Dogs. Looks to get that up there for Baker. Baker's going to leave it for Pullen, and she'll come in with speed and space. Takes it to the backhand, shot on, and into the breadbasket of Michaela Piers, and she covers up with no icing.
That was one of those sneaky little backhands that sometimes the goalie just doesn't see it coming, especially through a little bit of traffic, weaving through, and it's on the wrong hand, and all of a sudden there's a puck coming out of nowhere. But the work there by Piers of a positional save, she just put her body in the right spot, and there was a puck.
So it's the first time this season we've seen B4 up forward. She started on D, but midway through that first, Drew Coffray had her up there on center, and we're starting to see a little bit more offensive pressure, which I think is good for a player of the ilk of B4, especially when you're missing the players like Emily Davis-Tope and Ash Aparicio as well.
They certainly need that attacking prowess, which they might have otherwise been missing, and Dufour doing a great job.
So here's the puck in the sniper zone. It's Tran who gets that out, looking for Dufour. It just misses her, and Paige Cameron now will collect on her own blue line and send that up looking for Fitzpatrick. Bella Raimondo now will take it to the safety of her own, behind her own net. She'll walk out in the corner and just chip that up looking for Mayer. But a great stop there by Gallagher on the blue line. Keeps the pressure on as Tran and Raimondo switch positions there behind the net. Tran with a little space now, not able to get the pass off, as that was a great play there by Marion. Beatafour in her familiar place down back, looks up for the stretch pass, blocked there by Marion, and collected again by Beatafour. She notices the space there to skate. She's against two players, probably she's a little bit faster than. Beatafour with a nice move, cuts it in front, puck's loose. Where is it now? Just on the side. Comes back to the point, but not able to be kept in there by Ryland, as we heard a sigh of disappointment there by our man Figures.
It was a good opportunity for the Snipers, but they just couldn't quite keep the puck in, and that opportunity turned into a counter-attack for the Dogs.
So here it is, Briar Johnson battling against Mayer. Mayer gets that up to Newman, but the Dogs able to end that attack. Steph Cochran now has it here. She'll take that over the blue line. She's got Briar Johnson crashing the net, takes it behind it, now looks to center it, but finds the stick of Ryland. Johnson now behind the net. She's got Cochran standing in front, decides to chip it on, and that ramps up the stick of Piers and just misses. Battle on the half wall, comes back to Yates, who sends that down for Cochran. Cochran just misses it, but she'll collect it behind the net. Twists away from the defender. She's got space to walk out in front. She takes it, takes the shot on, and right off the mask there of Michaela Piers.
There's a very unmarked Tara Baker, who was floating around high slot.
And Baker with it now. She'll take that around. She's got it on her backhand. Cochran managing that space in front of the net. Baker still with it. Cochran now moves out in the high slot, but that's intercepted by Moore as she looks to get that out to Quezada. Nice pinch here. It's Baker with it. Takes the shot, rebound, and just missed there by Cochran as she had another grade A scoring opportunity all over the net so far tonight.
Dogs doing a good job of sustained pressure. The Snipers will need to get themselves a change.
Marnie Pullen, though, fresh off the bench, and here she comes into the offensive zone. She's one-on-one on Ryland, cuts back, but just misses it. It'll come back to Yates, who'll take the shot, but miss everything, and that goes out into the corner. Pullen now one-on-one there on Ryland. Pullen deep in the offensive zone. Still has it, takes a look, no one back-checking, so she'll just take it into the corner. She'll pass it over to Butler, who'll now walk out on her forehand, takes the shot, looking for a tip in front by Leach. Yates now collects it. Fought there with Mayer on the corner, and Danny Butler wins that battle.
Leach being very closely marked there by Heather Ryland. Every time she got near the puck, Ryland just had her stick lifted up off the ice.
But here's Danny Butler now. She'll walk out of the corner. We've seen this happen quite a few times, but she's looking to center it. Now comes out. It's Zoe Quezada and Hope Newman, and it'll come out there for Mayer. Mayer in on Yates, but Yates pins that onto the wall, and now acres of space shows up over to the left side, but Grigalunas decides to take it to the right. Mayer now has it on the half wall, will chip that up, but can't get that past Nelson, and with the touch there, the icing is waved off.
Snipers with a bit of a messy change there. A bit lucky to get away with that one.
Schreier just evades the check there, sends it across looking for Pickering, but Sharna Godfrey with the new blades out on the ice intercepted that one. Raimondo deep in the zone now for the Snipers, just being watched by Butler, and does the smart thing and gets the puck as far away from the leading goal scorer for the regular season. Butler, though, pins it up against the wall. Support here by Ryland. Ryland here battling, or Pickering, sorry, battling. Gets that puck deep now as Sharna Godfrey will go up against her like number in Bella Raimondo. Raimondo chips that forward. Neela Brenning will collect it, but she's 1-on-2. Neela Brenning in on Cameron, takes it over to Nelson, cuts through all the way. Neela Brenning takes the shot and a save by Best. The rebound, though, in front, and a diving save by Best. Two great saves on the Sniper goal scorer there, as she knows how to put the puck in the back of the net, but no one can stop them Best. Best.
Absolutely game-defining save there by Best. Brenning was through everyone, and Best was the last line of defence, and she stood up and made two superb saves.
So far here, midway through the game, this is a game designed for Gossie. The goalie's playing out of their head. But here's Conlon with a shot, blocked by Cameron, collected there by Cochran, and sent down the length of the ice. And this one will be icing.
Of the game.
Yeah.
It's actually the first icing we've had all game.
Let's take a look at this on the CCM All-Out replay, guys. Neela Brenning comes in alone, saved by Best there. But this second one, diving across, making the save. I think Brenning's there on the bench saying, what do I got to do to score? Wow, exciting hockey, guys. So face-off here to the left.
I think you'd find pretty much all the Dogs that have the same thing to say as well. They are out shooting them 18-9.
That is true.
The Dogs have got a lot more shots on that, and they can't get it through either.
So
the goalies both playing out of their skins.
Here's the puck deep in the Dog zone. It's Quezada who's going to get to it first in the far end corner. But a battle there with the Dogs, still with the Snipers. Support comes, and walking out here, there's Ryland available on the point, but it is stolen by Godfrey, who now chips it up to Butler and up to Cochran. They got the super line out here. Cochran, Butler, and Godfrey. And here's Danny Butler in on the backhand shot. Save by Pierce. This is a recording. Saved by Pierce. And I reckon the referees will have to start checking that jersey for Velcro because Michaela Pierce isn't letting up any rebounds.
You might be checking for neodymium magnets and that the puck's got a bit of metal in it. It's just going straight through to them. So we're going to have a button installed here which just says great save and just keep pressing it over and over again. Because otherwise Pearl Gossie's going to blow a gasket.
I'm loving this game, and here we go. Face-off won there by the Snipers. There's a battle here on the wall, and Cochran and Briar Johnson battling in. Brenning comes in for support, but the youngster, Briar Johnson, wins out on it. Takes it behind the net, centered in front. Michaela Pierce for a second was gaping, but Godfrey now gets it on, and a stick save there by Pierce. Cochran behind the net, chips it over, misses everyone. That's going to allow Hope Newman to collect it, and she'll skate this out of the zone, but can't get it past the great defender in Marnie Pullen.
Pulling showing great composure there under pressure. Just to dump the puck back in, turn the Snipers back around and deny them that opportunity.
Brenning, though, will try to chip it back, but great stick hand-eye coordination there by Pullen blocks that opportunity. Mayer does eventually chip it out, and now it will be a battle between Brenning, and she steals that. She's got it on the forehand. Brenning with a shot. Another save by Best as that now chips into the corner. Brenning, though, wins that out, looks to center, and right on the doorstep was Mayer, and that just bounced off her stick.
Toe of her stick. Just
Sharna Godfrey, though, down the other way. Stick handling in a phone booth. Takes it, wraps it in front. Puck's loose there. Where is it now? Behind the net as Pierce made two great saves.
Just about every Dogs forward had a chance on that one. But there's one goalie who was just not letting the puck in.
Pullen uses her strength and her skating ability to win out that puck, and she'll take that in the near side corner and chip that back there for Cochran. Cochran behind the net. Over to Pullen. Pullen with a shot, and that rings off the iron. Here comes Newman down the other way. She's 1-on-2, and in support comes Conlon. If she can get it deep, Conlon might be able to get a lane to the front of the net. Decides then to peel off, and this will allow Grigalunas the time and space she needs to skate this out of the zone. Grigalunas around 1-2, chips that over to Fitzpatrick. She'll chip that in down deep, but first two, it's going to be Moore. Grigalunas, though, hot on her tail, as now there's a battle on the wall. Moore stopped. Conlon comes in for support. It's still there on the half wall, shot down deep. Conlon now collects it and sends that up past there by Fitzpatrick, and Pickering able to get that puck out of the zone.
It only goes as far back as the waiting Dogs defense. Snipers again have been out there for a long time. The shot clock is up to 6-5 this time.
Wow.
A little bit more in
Here
half time.
comes Pickering. She has a half break, but Nelson comes back and really snuffed out any opportunity there as Pickering wasn't able to get it on target. Conlon, though, now battles, using her big frame there to just shield the puck, but it's eventually stolen here by Butler, and she's 1-on-2. Gets it around Moore, but forced outside. She's got Marion going to the net, and Moore eventually knocks down the Dogs superstar, and she will be going for a penalty here for 2 or less for hook or trip. You take your pick.
Yeah, it's very hard as a defender to come up against somebody like Danielle Butler when she's breaking away like that and not get a penalty out of it. She's very good at using her body.
You make a choice, don't you? Am I going to let her get past me, or am I going to do a professional foul?
Exactly.
And Georgia Moore's been around for long enough to know how to play a professional foul. I'm not saying that that's what it was, but she certainly got a body in the way and forced her to have to go very wide.
So Dogs on to their second power play of the game. Snipers 0 for 2 on their power plays, and so far the Dogs 0 for 1, as it is a 0-0 game, looking like the trading cards of Michaela Pierce and Kayla Best will be top sellers in the pro shop. Here it is in the corner, though. It's Baker getting it back here for Pullen. She's got acres of space. Wines takes a speculative shot, looking for a deflection, but goes wide. Neve Gallagher, though, will get one, looking for the stick of Baker, but instead chips out into the corner. And now Zoe Quezada will look to get it out, but it's stolen here by Grigalunas. Nice move to cut in front, but couldn't get past the skate of B. Dufour. Julia Tran will chip that around. It's going to be stopped up by Danny Butler, who will reverse that back down for Grigalunas. Grigalunas back to Pullen. Pullen with the one-timer, but fanned on that one, as that was a glorious opportunity. Puck back to Gallagher, looking to center, but no one in front, and Tran should get it out and does. And you can see what that means to Marnie Pullen as she shakes her head as she wasn't able to keep that one in.
Pullen was hanging out at the blue line there, calling for it a couple of times. She really wanted that one-timer.
And here's Butler now with speed, stopped up there, and we're going to have another penalty to the Snipers as Kayla Best gets over to the bench. It will be a 6-on-4, and another fanned opportunity by Pullen as I think she takes herself off the ice on that one as she checks her stick. And B. DeFour will head to the penalty box for a short 5-on-3 opportunity for just over about, 20 seconds.
They'll probably have about 10 seconds once the puck is dropped to 5-on-3, and then they'll have another minute and a bit of 5-on-4. The Dogs have made some great opportunities on this one. Just a couple of times their D have been going for those tip-ins. Probably would suggest they actually shoot it on the net, but get those rebounds.
Oh, puck just not able to kept in there by Paige Cameron, and that will end the 5-on-3 as Georgia Moore is going to come out of the box, but still a 5-on-4 here, and it's Cochran looking to center that on. Intercepted by Raimondo, not able to keep it in, and Cameron takes a shot on, and Michaela Pierce smart to cover that one up and kill another 10 to 15 seconds off this power play.
Cameron there with a great option, actually firing the puck in from the blue line on the net, forcing the goalie to have to make a save and produce that rebound and that opportunity. That's the right play to do from out there. It's unlikely to score a goal, but if you put the puck on the net, you create rebound opportunities time after time.
And we are back with the super line. Butler, Cochran, and Godfrey here for the Dogs on the power play. It's back to Gallagher. Gallagher with a shot on and into the chest there of Michaela Pierce as she covers up.
I think that puck hit a couple of sticks on the way through. Really good looking there by Pierce to keep an eye on it and make sure that she's in the right position.
Unreal job by the Sniper goaltender so far. She's been
just under a minute of this power play.
So puck comes back here to Gallagher. Not able to keep it in, and Mayer will get that out, but Pullen will be out first. If it's not for Kayla Best, who comes out for a little bit of a pass. She gets that up to Butler, looking for the goalie assist. Butler in, looks to take it around, looking for the wraparound. Puck's out, kept in here by Pullen. Pullen, winds, shot into the chest there of Michaela Pierce. Her third save in the same way with no cookies left with a crumb there in front of the net.
I think that's the thing that we're seeing with these shots coming from the blue line. You don't need to hit it hard. You just have to get it towards the net. Even if Pierce can't get her hands to it or keep it trapped in, hopefully get a rebound and a garbage goal. But
15
nothing
seconds
yet.
to go. 15 seconds to go on this power play.
I haven't seen many rebounds so far from either goaltender, but you're right, Figures. Best way to score on a hot goalie is on the rebound. So here comes Gallagher taking a shot on block there by Conlon. She'll look to chip that out and will get it past Gallagher, and that will end the power play. So 0 for 3 now on the on the player advantage here for the Dogs as the Snipers kill an important 5-on-3. But here comes Grigalunas, picked it up on the blue line, chips it through, she's in a break, saved by Pierce, rebounds there, Pierce with another save, it's loose in front, oh my God, how did that not go in? And here it comes down the other way, it's Pickering in on Cameron. Cameron wins that out and will take that behind the net. Michaela Pierce is playing out of her skin.
I can tell you how that didn't go in, Gossie. There was a wall of snipers down there. There was 4 of them defending, and there was just bodies in the way. There were loose rebounds, but the snipers got there first.
So Conlon now battling 2 Dogs behind the net. She's looking to center it and wins that out. She'll win it there closely on the half wall, but eventually gets the puck stolen off by Marnie Pullen, and she finds a lane and takes it. 1-on-1 on Ryland. Pullen on the back out, cross ice. They score! Marnie Pullen with the assist of the season. Danny Butler on the doorstep, and nothing you could do there for Michaela Pierce as she stretched those legs as far as they could, but couldn't stop Danny Butler.
You won't see a finer example there of an assist and a cross-ice pass. But Pierce had absolutely no alternative but to go across to cut off that pass, which opens up the other side of the net, and then it's a beautiful cross-ice, and there's nothing she could have done about that. Dogs in the right place to finally capitalise on sustained pressure that they've had through most of this period. They've outshot the Snipers 12-5 in this period so far.
So a late goal there for the Dogs, and what a play by Marnie Pullen. She's been all over the game so far, and a hell of a pass to find Danny Butler and break open this game 1-0. Puck's deep, though, still in the sniper zone. It's Godfrey battling against Brenning. Brenning does get it up to Newman. It's one-on-one now on Gallagher. Brenning's going to the net, so if we can get a shot on and a rebound, she'll be looking to pounce, but Best down the other way, able to mop up that rebound and kill off a few precious seconds here late in the second.
Dogs did a good job. You've seen this replay of just forcing that out wide. You can see the Dogs' defensive player owning that space, so the shot taken from a poor angle. And I think you find 9 times out of 10 Best is going to swallow them up.
So 1-0 here with just under 30 seconds remaining. The Snipers have been known to be the comeback queens. Is there a comeback in the offering here? Puck's on the far side corner. Walking out there is Brenning looking to center it. It's going to come back to Moore. There's 15 seconds remaining in the period. Brenning, high slot, takes the shot, blocked there by Cochran. And Niamh Gallagher now not able to keep it in. Maybe time for one more shot. And with the poke check there, that will be it. As the period ends 1-0 for the Dogs on one hell of a goal by the leading goal scorer of the season, Danny Butler, assisted by Marnie Pullen.
So we'll just have a look at some of the numbers through that period, Gossie. In the first period, the Dogs outshot the Snipers 14-5, and in the second shot, they outshot them 12-6. So it's more than 2-1 shots on the net that have actually made it through to the goalie. Now, we know that statistic can be a little bit misleading. Shots on the net are not the same thing as quality shots. And sometimes what looks like a shot isn't necessarily one, but the Dogs have had the majority of that offensive pressure, and they're really loading up on Pearce. Pearce will be pretty tired, but she has done a superb job of making great positional saves. And it was just that last chance where it was a 2-on-none across the front of the net. She had to go to the player who went to the corner and cover that post, which of course opens up the remainder of the net, and it was just a chip across in front of her. But it's a goalie's nightmare, that scenario. There's just nothing you can do about it. Gossie, you're a goalie. You wouldn't see too many of them because it was executed absolutely perfectly.
I'll tell you what,
brilliant attack.
I think Michaela's legs, those splits were wider than she even could imagine, and you can't cover that whole bottom of the net.
You can't get all of it.
And it was a hell of a pass there by Pullen. But what a game. I mean, despite that, I think so far player of the game has to be Michaela Pearce. 26 shots that have made it through to her and have been counted, and some amazing saves. Tough one to let in that late in the first, but nothing she could do about it. But really the star for the Dogs, you can talk about Butler, you can talk about Cochran and Godfrey, but Marnie Pullen, who Figures has over here, she's been skating all over the place, and you could see the excitement on her face with that assist. Looking forward to hearing her thoughts. Over to you, Figures.
Thanks very much, Anton. Yeah, I've got Marnie Pullen here. You have been smashing it this period, both defense, offense. You got the assist on that last goal. You absolutely led the charge. How are you feeling? What's the vibe on your bench?
Vibes are really good. Personally, I'm feeling really good. I don't know, this is like, I feel like we've just got a crew here that this is like our bread and butter. Obviously the game isn't over, but I think that we have a lineup that really performs well in finals. It's something to look forward to, and I know I'm just loving it. I love the full house. I love everything about this. This is great.
And obviously finals, it gets amped up a little bit. We start to see a bit more pushing and shoving. It hasn't gotten out of hand, but we have seen a lot of penalties. Are you guys looking for penalty kills as much as, for power plays as much as possible? Is that something that you're trying to draw?
Well, I mean, like if you're first to the puck, majority of the time, like you're not going to get the PK. Like you're probably going to draw a power play. So I think that just us keeping our feet moving, getting first to the puck, like I don't know. I feel like they're missing a few of their good players, and their other good players are performing well. We're just beating them to the puck, and that's where we're drawing penalties there. So I know I'm loving the power play. I'm loving playing with these girls, just having fun.
Well, I'll leave you to it. Thanks very much, Marnie, and good luck for the third period.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Figures. Thank
Back
you very
to
much
you,
for that.
Anton and Carl.
With a great little chat there with Danny Butler, telling it exactly like it is. You've got to win those individual battles, and if you win that, then you're putting the pressure on the opposition. But I think one player that the Dogs can't take their eyes off in the third, when it's they've only got that very tenuous 1-goal lead, and it's been Nella Brenning. There's been a number of occasions, Gossie, when she's had a bit of space and she's got that big, strong stance, and she makes herself so wide. Defensive players trying to get around her and take the puck off her, and she's just riding them into the net. And she's created a number of really good scoring opportunities. DeFore up front, we haven't seen her there before. She's doing pretty well, but I think Brenning is the one who, if anyone in the in the Snipers is going to break that deadlock and get through best. I think it's probably going to be her. Hard to tell. Georgia Moore's having a great game too in defence for the Snipers. She's stepped up and is really doing the job that we've needed to see from her all season, and that's been fantastic as well. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back with you at about 8:35 for the third period of this absolute cracker of a game. The Dogs won, the Snipers 0 at the end of the second.
My name is Kendall Coyne Schofield. I am from Palos Heights, Illinois. I played my college hockey at Northeastern University, and I'm currently on Team Adidas with the PWHPA. The PWHPA is the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association, and back in May of 2019, a group of players got together to form the Players Association with the mission to change the landscape of women's hockey forever. I hope to see a more consistent product on the ice so that when you turn on your TV during hockey season, you don't just see the NHL, you see women's hockey just as consistently as you see men's hockey. Once we start seeing that, I think we'll really see the true growth that the game has already exceeded, I think, without the infrastructure that it deserves. I remember the first time I saw a women's hockey game was when I was 10 years old, and the Olympic team came through the United Center in Chicago to play Team Canada before the 2002 Olympic Games, and I was just a bug on the glass. And then from there, the next game that I saw was with the women's national team was the one I played in, just to show you the gap of how hard it is to find and see women in hockey. To be it when you can't see it, that's such a strong purpose and mission of the PWHPA. We know how important that visibility is to the next generation, so that when these young girls grow up, they know that there's a place for them to be in this sport professionally and make a living doing it.
Confidence.
Where does it come from?
Why do some have it more than others?
How can young players find it?
How can beer leaguers get more of it?
How can pros keep it?
It comes from being 100% comfortable with your gear.
Because it's only when your gear feels just right.
Do you have the extra confidence to go all out and play to your fullest potential?
CCM knows that when you feel your best,
you play your best.
That's why they design, engineer, and test
the smallest details to feel just right.
So when you lace up your skates,
put on your helmet,
flex your stick, or put on your pads.
You might not know why it feels right.
And that's okay. Just know that CCM does.
And they got the art down to a science.
So now everyone can feel more comfortable wearing CCM gear
and feel more confident in taking their performance to the next level.
When you feel your best,
you play your best.
Because when things feel just right,
who knows where your best will take you?
This game is our canvas.
Our choice, our freedom.
It's my way.
And mine.
And mine.
And mine.
It's the only way.
The ice doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't see color or gender.
All it sees is 60 minutes of pure effort.
A pure fun.
On the ice, we might be enemies.
But in the end, we're all allies.
This game's for everyone.
No matter who you are,
no matter where we're from, we're all ready to hit the ice.
Welcome back, everyone, to the IceHQ ice rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, for the IceHQ Pro League Grand Final Series Game 1, where we are about to see the third and deciding period of this first game in a 3-game best-of-3 final series here in this Women's Professional League. Gossie, we are seeing the Dogs with a tenuous 1-goal lead over the Snipers with 18 minutes to play. It's not stop time until it gets to the last 3 minutes. If it is all tied up at the end, they go to 3-on-3 sudden death overtime, which will be
exciting.
Oh, that'll be exciting. I'm concerned about your heart health, but apart from that, I'm concerned about mine as well.
Well, we have had 2 world-class goaltending sessions out here, and we knew it was going to take a world-class goal. And if we had the ability to throw up the highlights right now, we'd definitely be taking you back to that play. And what a great job by Marnie Pullen, just to use her reach to keep it out to the side, and then the poise to be able to get that back across ice over to Butler, and
just
that close with that net.
Too.
You know, she's going to make no mistake.
It was an absolutely beautiful pass straight onto the tape of the player in the slot on the other side of the post, who really just had to tap it in. But that's the art of the beautiful goal, is if you can make that combination work that well. It looks easy, and we know that it's not. It's that precise timing which is so hard to get right, and we'll see time and time again it gets missed. But on the odd occasion that it actually works, it is an absolute thing of beauty and a nightmare for a goaltender. So we have 2 goalies who have played outside of their skins so far, and the Dogs with a very, very tenuous 1-goal lead. They have outshot so far 26-11, have had the majority of the shots on the net, the Dogs. But the Snipers, they are coming, and we know they're pretty good at coming back. They've got Tafour playing forward, and watch out for Nella Brenning. She's been threatening all game. Let's see how this period ends up. Gossie.
Here we are. So face-off here, and that's going to be won there by Dufour, but knocked forward by Conlon right onto the stick of Nelson, and Marnie Pullen, the great assist, recently gets the puck and chips that forward. Fresh ice here for Danny Butler, and she sends that back there for Nelson. We'll just rip that off the wall, looking for a speculative Baker, who's able to get that past Moore. Puck's in the far corner. There's a battle on there. Butler falls down. Baker watched by Moore, who'll send it up on the wing, but kept in. And shot there. Chips in front. It's loose, but collected by Moore as she looks to break that one out. And here comes Conlon over to Mayer. And Mayer, for those of you that don't know at home, she's only 14 years old. And what a game so far she's having, as we've seen some amazing growth by her this season.
She's not being overawed by the occasion, that's for sure. She's playing against the big, strong girls.
So here we go.
Not being ridden out by them.
So Ryland was able to get that deep, but Butler now will collect that and take that with space behind her own net. Watched by Conlon, but gets around her, and now she'll go. Brenning fresh off the bench, but able to beat that and just loses that off her stick as Ryland chips that out in the corner. Leach, though, in the high slot, looking for a pass, but Butler pinned up there by Brenning, and Brenning will come out with it. So Brenning the other way. It's a back check there by Butler, but out there to the wide side, walks around. Gallagher brings it out in front, and it chips high over the net and into the corner.
There's that strength of Brenning that we're seeing. Gallagher, a superb defensive player. She plays an excellent game of position. But Brenning was just able to ride around her with that big stance.
Brenning now with a shot on, and that just misses. And we will have a penalty here to the Dogs, and that's going to go there against Leach there, as she was defending Brenning, using that big frame of hers to protect the puck. And this is what the Snipers would want. They're short on the bench compared to the Dogs lineup, but there'll be one player up here for 2 or less.
Remember though, Gossie, the last time the Snipers had the power play, what did the Dogs do? They created about 4 or 5 great scoring opportunities out of it. You've got to be so careful. It's very easy in a penalty kill on a power play to just get a little bit overconfident. See the D creeping in really high. That's a risky play if the Dogs get behind you.
Moore now has it on the point here for the Snipers, just winding, looking for a shooting lane. Instead gives it to Dufour, but couldn't get that deep as Gallagher collects it. She looks to rip that out, but kept in well by Moore. Dumps that down behind the net. Looking for it is Newman. It's going to chip out there for Cochran, who can't get that, or does get that past Raimondo.
Raimondo just not quite able to carry the weight of the weight of the puck there. It just blew straight through her. Now the Snipers with a chance to try and set up a break-in.
So here's Brenning now, chips it up there for Dufour. Dufour with speed through the center of the ice. On her forehand, takes the shot, saved there by Best.
Good work there, Cameron, to force Dufour to take that early shot.
So now on the side there, it's Conlon who chips that behind the net. Brenning's going to get there first, although she's being watched by Gallagher. Decides to reverse it down for Dufour. Dufour's going to walk out of the corner and get it back to Raimondo. Raimondo just looking for a shooting lane. She's watched by Cochran, gets it there to Dufour. Dufour out in front, and a great save by Paige Cameron, who was on her knees, and that just bounces over to the stick of Raimondo, and it's now one-on-one. Sharna Godfrey, shorthanded, in alone, makes the save. Kayla Pierce there on Godfrey as
This
she
is
just
where the
poked that away.
This is where the Dogs are going to be dangerous. They've got that penalty kill now up high in the attack. There's not that too much longer left to go on the penalty as well. Only another 40 seconds, and the Dogs now with a commanding position.
So here we go. Puck just pinned up on the half wall. Conlon comes in for support, and she's going to get it out. She's got Brenning with her, but Conlon takes it straight to the center of the ice. Conlon on the backhand, takes a shot on right in the glove, but drops out there, and that's going to allow Pullen just to dump that down the length of the ice. And fresh off the bench with fresh legs is Danny Butler, who's going to forecheck in on Ryland. Nice play just to curl away from Butler. Butler falls down, but Briar Johnson not able to collect there for the Dogs.
A little bit of sloppy ice in front of the Zamboni door. It can be a bit tricky to negotiate
great.
early on in the period after a cut.
So great little stick check there, and the puck's now there with Yates as she chips that forward. It's pinned up on the legs. It's going to come back to Ryland. She's watched by Butler and decides just to chip that down into the corner.
We're all back to full strength.
So 5-on-5 hockey. It's deep now in the Dog zone. It comes out for Briar Johnson, who gets it up to Leach. Leach chips that over to Butler, who just gets that past Ryland, and now she's got a lane straight to the net. Danny Butler takes the lane, comes across. What a shot and what a save there by Michaela Pierce as she stops the great goal scorer Danny Butler as she cut across the net. Look at this on the CCM all-out replay. Cuts across, looking to stuff that back far side, and Michaela Pierce gobbles that up.
It's good to see that Simone Leach there getting on that other post, waiting for the rebound if it popped up. She was in good position there to take advantage of it if it happened. Of course, it didn't that time because, as we saw, Pierce did such a good job of swallowing it up.
So here we go, face off. It's B-4 up against Grigalunas, and Grigalunas wins it over to the side there to Cochran. Cochran back to Pullen. Pullen's got Gallagher, but takes a speculative shot, and that's blocked there by Raimondo. She's watched, though, by Cochran. Now 2 Dogs there, and Bella Raimondo kind of runs into some trouble. Cochran comes out. Godfrey was looking backdoor, but Cochran takes it to the near side corner. She drops it to her teammate there, and Godfrey, who now walks out, looks to send that across, but off the stick of the sniper and chipped out only as far as the blue line and not out.
More sustained pressure here for the Dogs.
Now in front, Grigalunas. It chips out. Godfrey was looking for it, but Tran's going to collect that one now, but can't get it past Grigalunas. Tran and Grigalunas battling in the near side corner. And Tran will rip that up, but only as far as Godfrey. Nice stick check there by B-4. Can't get that past Gallagher, though, and it's now going to come out in front for Cochran, who wasn't able to hit that on net.
You could see Gallagher just hesitating there for a second as Defoe was coming towards it. Could she get the puck or not? But she made the right call and went and got it.
So Godfrey battling Tran. Tran's able to get it high to the point, but it's going to be kept in by Gallagher, who will chip that over there for Cochran. Godfrey, sorry. Godfrey was looking for Cochran, but that was intercepted nicely by B-4, who just chipped that forward, noticing that her team needed a change. And Gallagher forced in her own zone now. Puck's with Cochran. Chips that up to Danny Butler, but a good defensive play there by Moore.
Moore doing a good job there. Just being physical. You can put your body in the way and own your place. You don't have to get out of the way. It's not non-contact hockey. It's non-checking.
Check out that hand-eye coordination by Pullen. And here she goes the other way. She's got the great assist that broke this game out, and she's deep now in the sniper zone. So going for a little bit of run, reverses it back to Butler. Nelson's open on the point if Butler can find her. Instead decides to wait and send that behind the net, looking for Briar Johnson, but intercepted by Ryland. Butler picks up the loose puck, though, and as she touches it, there will be a penalty, and it's going to go against Briar Johnson there, as she and Ryland were tied up behind the net, and the Dogs the Snipers are going to go to their 4th power play of the game.
And we're getting a penalty there for holding. So this will give the Snipers that extra chance. But we've seen last 2 power plays that the Snipers have had. The Dogs have actually turned them into some pretty good attacking opportunities. It all comes down to this opening face-off. If the Snipers can win this one, they set themselves up for a good opportunity on the blue for an attack. But if the Dogs can win it...
And Brenning wins it forward. There's space there, but Butler able to get loose there and block that shot there from Brenning. Puck now in the corner, though. It's Baker. She touches that, and it's going to be a high stick or hand pass, one or the other. I couldn't quite see in the corner.
So I can tell you, Gossie, as a centre, these are the face-offs that you love because they're ones that create opportunities. Most face-offs, you can kind of write them off a little bit. It's like, we win it, lose it, doesn't matter. But when you're on a power play or a penalty kill, they become so important. And it's one of those moments that you live for as a centre.
So face-off 1. It's with the Dogs, Paige Cameron. She's only going to get that as far as Newman, though. Newman for the Snipers gets it back to Conlon. Winds, takes a shot, and just misses there. Georgia Moore will be able to collect here on the far side point, looking for a shooting lane, send that down to Dufour. Dufour back to Moore. Moore, she's got Conlon, but sends it back to Dufour. Dufour, nice little move into space. Conlon winds, takes a shot that bounced off a stick, but high. Brenning now on the rebound, and that shoots just wide. Cameron looking to get that out. It's going to be stopped up by Dufour, left for Conlon, and they're going to call that one a hand pass as it just touched the glove of B. Dufour.
The way that rule works, if you're not sure, if you are not in your own defensive zone and you handle the puck, you're allowed to catch it. You have to drop it immediately. If one of your other teammates is the next player to touch the puck, it's called a hand pass. Even if you didn't necessarily throw it in their direction, you're required to drop it. You can touch it, opposition can touch it, but one of your teammates can't.
So 30 seconds left on the player advantage here. It's back in the Snipers as they regroup, looking to get on the power play here. It's Pickering being watched there by Cochran. It's chipped out. B. Dufour sends that cross ice, and Pickering goes in to chase in on Marnie Pullen. Pullen, smart move just to send that down the length of the ice, and here's the speed of Cochran in on Moore. Moore will get there first, though, but finds the skate there of Cochran, and with 5 seconds remaining, the power play will be over now as Briar Johnson comes out of the box. So 5-on-5 hockey, pass there by Pullen, misses everyone, but no icing. It's Georgia Moore in her own zone for the Snipers. Just over 8 minutes remaining here in the third period. A 1-goal game in favor of the Dogs. Here comes Pickering, though, leaving it there for Steele. Shot on, blocked into the corner. Behind the net now is Godfrey. Nice move to open up some space, and she'll take it. She's got Cochran just behind her, but takes the move herself, takes the lane, winds, shoots, saved there by Piers, and cleared out of the zone by the Snipers. Saving themselves for another day here with 8 minutes remaining.
That takes it up to 28 shots to 13 to the Dogs so far in this game.
Grigalunas over the blue line, chips it back over to Cochran, over to Grigalunas. She's got Fitzpatrick in front, shot on it, it's in the back of the net! The goal has happened, they've sprung out to a 2-goal lead, and by the looks of it there, it's Fitzpatrick in front of the net after a great pass there by Grigalunas. To put that in, and sorry, on the replay there, it was Grigalunas just stuffing that short side on Michaela Piers to make it 2-0.
Well, I was about to say that the Dogs must be wondering what they have to do to score a goal, and well, that's what they have to do, because they eventually managed to get one in. Piers has played absolutely superb under enormous amounts of pressure, but she's had 30 shots on her now, and you can't keep all of them out.
So a 2-0 game here with just over 7 minutes remaining. If anyone can do it, it would be the Snipers. They've known to come back on many occasions so far this year, but it is looking quite insurmountable compared to the amount of scoring opportunities they've had this game.
Well, let's not forget too that Best has done a great job. She's had 14. She's had to make 14 pretty high quality saves as well.
Here's Butler though, walking out, takes a shot, and that one goes high and wide. Puck's now in the corner. Battling on it is Butler against Steele and Raimondo. Butler still with it, has it on the backhand, curls, gets it over to the corner and wins it out again. This is like a training drill here for Danny Butler as she walks out into the far side, still on the backhand though, looking to curl in front, shot on now, and chip down into the corner, and there is going to be a penalty on the Snipers as it was the only way they could stop Danny Butler on that play.
Funny, Butler was doing a one-player cycle there, going round and round in circles. It does often create a little bit of mess and confusion amongst the defensive players. If they get caught chasing the cycle, it can cause a little bit of chaos and open up an opportunity. And I think Snipers there in the end said, righto, we're just going to stop this by getting in the way. And it's not non-checking, so it's not non-contact, but it is non-checking.
So here we are, face-off one. The puck's behind the net. It's Butler here on the power play. They are 0 for 3 so far this game. Puck comes out. It's intercepted here by Conlon, and they're going to come the other way. Conlon's got Mayer with her, who will go to the net, and Conlon will just take it wide. Mayer crashing the net. Now it comes out in front, but Mayer couldn't get to it. It's on the point here to Moore. Moore looking to get that in front to Mayer, but blocked up there by Yates. It's now collected by Pullen as she sends that down the length of the ice, and there is going to be an icing play there. And the puck will go down the other zone and kill off a few more seconds on this power play for the Dogs.
Apologies for not getting the time up on the display at the moment to tell you how much time there is on that power play. But what you'll see here is another one of those key battles. If the Dogs can win this face-off, they get that breakout and a great opportunity to try and score against the Snipers. The Snipers were just a 4 on the ice at the moment. They desperately need to win this face-off, or they're in a bit of trouble.
So face off, one forward there by the Dogs, and it's Baker now who has that. And she's run into there by Pickering, and when Ryland touches up this puck, it is going to be a penalty as the two girls have a little bit of a conversation there, as Baker doesn't like that physical play done to her there by Ava Pickering.
A little bit unhappy about that, but a bit of ill discipline there from the Snipers. It wasn't really necessary to make that call, and Baker going off looking a little bit the worse for wear as well. She's initially stood up, but as she goes off and leaves the ice, she looks a little bit second-hand, and she's being seen to as she goes out the back of the net. So we certainly don't want to see that.
So a 5-on-3.
Bit of frustration maybe from the Snipers, but now it'll be 5-on-3 for a little while. And then we'll be up to another penalty for another 4-on-5 power play for the Dogs. Not what the Snipers need at the moment. They need
Smart
more
play
composure.
by Georgia Moore talking to Cien Pereira, killing off the 30 seconds of the 5-on-3. And, just having a conversation a little bit about it. And, we got the leaders there of the Dogs there having a chat as well. But on puck drop, the Snipers will get one back, and the Dogs will go to their 5th power play of the game. 0 for 5 so far, but a 2-0.
So you can see here too, the Dogs player here coming back to cover that player as she comes out of the box. So we've got...
So here we are, face-off won by Brenning, and
waiting.
Out comes Tran, but Brenning couldn't find her as it's blocked there by Cochran. She sends that in the corner and goes and chases it herself. Time is the friend of the Dogs, so they don't mind the puck being deep here in the sniper zone, as the Snipers do need to. Battle there, and you see Georgia Moore with her arms up, wondering, if my player just got one for contact, what's happening there? But Cien Pierre playing no games and no penalty on that play. Pulling now in her zone. She's got space, and when she has it, she'll take it. Moves around to 4, comes into the slot area, but a poke check there by Brenning pushes it outside. Collected here by Tran, not able to get it out. Sent there, kept in by Cochran, only momentarily though, and she's forced out into her zone. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the third period. 2-0 here for the Dogs. The Dogs on the power play for just over a minute. We'll keep an eye on Michaela Piers, as the Snipers do need 2.
When are they going to pull that goalie?
So Brenning sends that deep. Yates will be back first here for the Dogs, and she'll collect that, being watched by Conlon. 55 seconds now left on the player advantage here for the Dogs. Conlon breaks that up. Pullen collects it, has some space, and she'll take it. Here comes Pullen, one-on-one, takes it wide. She's got Cochran in front, but couldn't find the pass that time. And there's another body play there by Georgia Moore out of frustration. And she looks like, it's actually Marnie Pullen with frustration in on Moore. She'll go for 2 or less, and the Snipers will end the game on the power play. It's 4-on-4 for another 40 seconds.
I think the really interesting question here will be, Gossie, is when do the Snipers pull their goalie? Do they pull her now and give themselves that advantage and go 5-on-4?
Go 5-on-4 and then take the 6th player?
I'd be doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they're doing, but the clock's ticking. We are in...
Timeout taken. Two minutes left, so we are stop time. And Coach Drew Coffray taking the timeout just to talk through a little bit of this. I think part of what they'll be talking about is exactly what you said, Carl. What are we doing with the goaltender? Do we get the puck deep? Michaela, you come off.
Here's the thing. You've got 2 goals down and you've got 2 minutes. What are you going to do? You've got to damn the torpedoes and you've got to take your chances. It's just...
I reckon you got to go pull the goalie, take the 5-on-4. You score. It doesn't negate your power play that's coming back after, right? So then you get the other power play, and you just
you
hope
have to score.
Exactly,
Which
and
means
you just
have
hope
to win the faceoffs.
Yeah, and you got to hope that Cochran or Godfrey or Butler. Luckily, they don't got Marnie Pullen on the ice because she'd be able to pick that up and probably skate that down and get a shot on net. But the Dogs have plenty other dangerous talent out there that'll be able to get a shorty if that goaltender is pulled.
Do we see the Snipers run to 4 and Brenning as a centre and a close wing combination trying to get that breakout from the face-off? Or what pattern are they going to run? It'll be interesting to see how they set up and what players they put on the ice for this. Remember, this is a best-of-3 final series.
Yeah.
So if you don't win this game, you don't lose the series, but you want to win this game. You certainly don't want to give a game away if you can avoid it. So the Snipers with an opportunity, can they do it? Do they pull their goalie to go 5-on-4, and then they will have not very long.
So
Bella
Ramundo's coming off, and they are going to run Conlon, DeFore, Brenning, and Moore. And I imagine Michaela will be coming if they get opportunity too. So face-off won there by Brenning, but collected by Gallagher, and the Dogs now out the other way. Brenning, though, collects that in the neutral zone, and she takes it. She's being watched by Butler. drops it there for Conlon, but kept in here by Moore.
Pierce
So
still in the
Snipers
net.
here, 1:40 seconds left. Comes out there looking for Brenning, intercepted there by Butler, and that's going to be shot down the length of the ice. Out is Pierce, who's going to pass that up there for Conlon. 1:30 left. Conlon off the half wall, over to Brenning. Brenning just chips that over, and that's going to be collected by Dufour. Dufour and Brenning in. Dufour with a shot off the shin there of Nelson. Conlon with it, sends it in front, but stopped there by Gallagher. Puck's going to come back to the point for Moore. She'll chip that over to the far side. Nelson will be there first for the Dogs, and we'll send that down the length of the ice.
They've still got their goalie on the ice with just over a minute to play and a 2-goal deficit.
So here we are, Snipers' last chance saloon in a great game so far. It's B-4, the comeback queens. Do they have it in her? Conlon, shot on, save there by Best as she covers up there with 58 seconds remaining. And in all this, I think you mentioned it, Carl, we haven't had enough time to talk how great Kayla Best has been playing so far, saving all shots she has faced. 15 shots. We can't say the sacred S word, but she's done a really good job so far. 50 seconds now. It's Godfrey in her own zone. She's just going to take as much time as she needs and now skate it out herself. She's got Cochran with her. It's a 2-on-1. Godfrey looks to get it over to Cochran. Moore stops it. It comes back to Cochran and saved by Piers. Hence why she's still in the net.
That's why, perhaps. But you've got to take those chances, Gossie. If you don't, you're lost anyway. They've now got a 2-goal deficit and 30 seconds to go. They're not going to get that back. They might get one, but they're not going to get two. With that 2 minutes, they had the chance to do it. So it's an interesting decision that they've made coaching-wise, and I confess I don't understand it, but that's what they did.
So here we go, and you'll look here. Here comes Brenning with speed through the neutral zone. Pinch back there by Cochran, and there is going to be a penalty on the slash as her stick came down hard on Brenning. So this is the chance you want. Another penalty, so it will be 5-on-3 here,
of the game.
And surely they pick out the goalie now, and here comes Pierce. So it will be a 6-on-3 advantage here for the Snipers. Do or die, so 27 seconds remaining in the game.
What the Dogs have to do here is absolutely own that space in front of the net and deny the Snipers any quality shots.
Godfrey, what a play there to win that face-off. Conlon loses her stick, though, but able to chip that back there for Dufour. Dufour, though, looks to get in front. Probably should have shot that, but got it back down to Conlon. Godfrey battles there. There's only 12 seconds remaining. All we need to do is get the puck out here if you're a Dog. Nelson gets it, or Cameron gets it over to the wall. Pinned up, Brenning there, shot on deflection, and what a save by Michaela Best as she covers up and preserves the shutout for one hell of a game here for the Dogs as they lead and win 2-0 here. No, puck drop? It went to 0.
I don't know. It's gone to 0, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
I guess it wasn't enough time for the buzzer. 0.1 seconds remaining in the game.
You got a shot from the
And there you go. The buzzer goes, and the Dogs win 2-0, led by a shutout by their all-star goaltender, Kayla Best. Goals by Danny Butler and Amelia Grigalunis with assists of Marnie Pullen and Sharna Godfrey as they go 1-0 up in this best-of-3 grand final series.
I certainly think that first goal that Butler scored with Pullen was one of the best goals you're ever going to see in hockey. It was such a beautiful play, taken down into the corner, and then that absolutely tape-perfect pass across the slot, which just left Piers with absolutely no chance to make the save. She was outstanding today. She let 2 goals in, which of course she wouldn't have liked, but she did make 30 saves, and they were all pretty good shots, including some absolute game-defining saves she made there as well.
Yeah,
superb game from her. It's hard to play such a good game as a goalie and leave without the biscuits, but that's what's going to happen today. It is a best-of-3. It's not over by any shot, and we've certainly seen that either one of these two teams is capable of winning this game. You need a bit of luck and a lot of skill and a bit of the two. So it's going to be a fascinating game tomorrow when we come back for round 2 of this final. That game will be played at 5:30 tomorrow afternoon. But before that happens, we're going to have a bit of a chat. I think we've got Figures waiting to pick up one of the girls for an interview.
Just as the girls are all skating off there, I mean, I think the stock and value of those trading cards that are on sale over on IceHQ.com.au, the stock has gone way up. So you get to buy them now for $15 a pack. But after the series, I guarantee you they'll be worth way more than $15 a pack.
What were those stuffed toys in America
collecting. Get collecting.
Netflix had some series on these stuffed toys that got that got
Yeah.
very scarce and became an investment
The
very
Beanie
quickly.
Baby
that's the one,
Bandit or whatever,
the
I
Beanie
saw
Babies.
that.
It was very entertaining. Not as entertaining as Slapshot, but still very entertaining. So it was a great game that we saw. A lot of sustained pressure. It did have a bit of a feeling of inevitability for the Dogs. They did mostly own the game in terms of shots on the net. We did see, in terms of actual shots taken, the Dogs outshot the Snipers 32-16, so doubling the number of shots they had on the goal. But interestingly enough, in the first period, the Dogs outshot the Snipers almost 3-1, 14-5. In the second, it was 12-6, 2-1. But in the third, it was only 6-5. So the Snipers really lifted in that third period and really tried to give themselves a chance. But it just wasn't enough. And I got to confess, Gossie, I'm still confused about that decision not to pull Piers earlier.
Look, I mean,
but,
team
they
players are
make their
gassed. They make the decision.
Yep,
Drew
yep.
Caffrey, great mind of hockey. I'm not going to second guess him. But what I'm really excited about is Figures over there has the two girls that were able to backstop this team in that third period. Amelia Grigoluna scored a great goal just to make that 2-0. But Kayla Best, oh my, did she want to keep that shutout. And none better than that save to end the game. I can't wait to hear what these two superstars have to say with Figures. Over to you, mate.
Thanks, Anton. That's right, I've got Kayla Best and Amelia Grigoluna. What a game. You both played an incredible game. You got your first goal, Amelia, in this competition. Congratulations. Kayla, shutout. We don't like to say it until the broadcast is over, but how does it feel to get a shutout in the first final?
Oh, it's fantastic. The team played amazing, and they had my back all the way through, so I just want to bring that tomorrow night.
So it got a little bit physical out there, especially towards the end. Was that something that you guys talked about in the change room beforehand, that it's something you're going to have to watch out for, or is it just something that in the heat of the game it just popped up?
I think just for the finals, obviously it's going to get a little bit more physical, and also I think they're a bigger team than us, and you really just switch it on for finals, so everyone really wants it, so all going hard.
So based on the quality of that game, doesn't look like tomorrow is going to be a cakewalk for you guys. What's the plan going into tomorrow's game? Are you any game plans or anything like that?
I think it's just keep it simple, play dogs hockey as we've been talking about. We've had a really solid season, and when we kind of work together and just keep it simple, slow it down a little bit, it works out for us.
Well, good luck for tomorrow's game. Have a great night, rest up, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you later.
Carl there.
Thanks very much, Anton and Carl.
Thanks, Figures. Carl, there you had it. Kayla Best said it best. Played dogs hockey, and they've been rolling those lines. They've been moving it. They beat you every which way. You got to expend so much energy to stop Danny Butler, and then they come over the boards with that great cycle between Godfrey and Cochran.
And what they showed us there was the depth that they have, and that's really been one of the benefits of that team right the way from day one. Is they've had just continuous attack. They haven't been a one-line team. They're a three-line team, and they just keep coming, and it's that relentless pressure. And even if the second and third lines aren't necessarily scoring goals, and Butler's scoring most of them, it's because the defence from that team's getting tired out and allowing those opportunities for them to get through. And we saw that tonight when it was just constantly sustained pressure, and sooner or later, Piers had to crack. And the first goal was just a magnificent piece of play, but the second one was one of those, we're just going to keep piling shots on the net, and sooner or later something's going to go in, and it did. And it's a probability game. Throw enough pucks at the net, and sooner or later one of them goes in.
I don't want to take anything away from the Snipers. They played lights out tonight. When you look at the game sheets come out, everyone's like, Dogs 5-0, 6-0, Snipers have no chance. I said on the broadcast, this team played very well together, and that they could match the Dogs. And I think they did for most of that game. That first period was one of the most exciting periods that I saw. And even when the Dogs started to get that offensive pressure, they were on the counterattack. I think they got a bit tired. Obviously, a few less skaters, missing some of those top-end talent. But I think they're going to have a little bit of extra fire underneath them. I think tomorrow they definitely have what it takes to beat these Dogs.
Well, they showed us, and it's a truism in hockey that on any day, almost any team can beat any other team, and it's more about mental state than anything else. But Best, I think, Best basically said a little bit earlier when she was talking about playing Dogs hockey, it's about winning those individual contests. And there was a couple of times, there's some pivotal moments in that game, and in particular those face-offs when you're on a penalty kill or a power play. That's when they become so absolutely important. And the Dogs won those ones that mattered and managed to keep control. If they had lost that face-off on the 5-on-3, the scoring opportunity that would have gone to the Snipers would have been almost totally priceless. But instead, they managed to tie it up. They got that little breakout through those defensive zone face-offs and created those counter-attacking opportunities. And that shuts the penalty down. And if you can do that, if you can win those key moments, that translates into dominating the game. And there's fractions of time that are so critical, and that's one of the things that if you haven't played the game, it's difficult to understand. You kind of look at it in ebbs and flows as coast to coast and so forth. But those key moments, winning those battles, getting in on the boards first, getting to the puck first, what that does is it puts the opposition under pressure, forces them to make mistakes, forces them to take penalties, which gives you numerical advantages. And we saw all that early on through the third period. It did get quite physical, and Sian was doing her best to keep it under control, and I think she did a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's plenty to dissect, plenty to analyze.
Absolutely.
I know we're going to go back thinking a lot about what we're going to talk about tomorrow, as all we know is that this isn't over, right? They've got one in the bank, but you need two.
You got to win two.
You talk to anybody in any pro sports, winning that final game is always the hardest. So take us home, Carl. What's on for tomorrow?
So tomorrow night it's game 2, and it will be at 5:30 p.m. There will be a third game on Friday the 25th at 7:40 if it's required. So if the Snipers win tomorrow night, we'll be back on Friday the 25th. And I know that Figures was pretty keen for that to happen, and I think we all are. Certainly if it's a standard of the game we've seen tonight, we would love to see more of that hockey. And of course, if you can't make it here to watch it, which is the best place to see it, you can catch us on the live stream tomorrow at 5:40. Can the Snipers steal a trophy from the jaws of the Dogs? There's only one way to find out. Bring it on.